Hello.
We're live at 5.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
I'm Paul Wontorek, and this is it. We're in the heart of Broadway.com, the heart of Times Square, and we have an amazing Broadway star here today as our special guest. We love her.
One of our favorite people. We have Laura Michelle Kelly from the King and I Tour joining us in a little bit.
Currently gracing America with her presence and her beautiful voice.
In the capital.
In city after city as Anna, what is it? Leon Owens?
Leon Owens.
That name's always been complicated for me. So yeah, we're excited she's here.
I'm so excited.
And I know you guys are excited too.
Of course.
But let's start with some news. There's actually a lot of news today.
We had some really exciting stuff today. So we heard about this play Meteor Shower from Steve Martin. And today we got the cast, and it is A-list stars here.
We heard this rumor before, but it actually came true.
Right, this is a real, so Amy Schumer, Emmy winner Amy Schumer, making her Broadway debut. You have Laura Benanti coming back. You've got Keegan-Michael Key, Emmy winner Keegan-Michael Key coming, and Alan Tudyk, who's done a ton of Broadway.
Yeah.
Huge
and TV
stars.
and movies. Yeah.
Yeah, like huge stars.
Funny group of people.
Hilarious group of people. Like some of the best in their field doing Steve
I'm glad
Martin.
we get to see Laura Benanti do like a comedy.
Yeah, and it sounds fascinating that it's like a hot night in California, and these are two married couples that one of them goes over, I think Laura Benanti and Keegan-Michael Key go over for dinner. And
sounds a little swingery.
And then,
Is that what's happening?
Well, who knows? And then it's described as marital fallout.
That sounds swingery to me. Who's directing this thing?
Tony winner Jerry Zaks.
Who wrote it?
Steve Martin. Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
It's A-list top talent stuff. Yeah,
this is going to be, and it's nice to see a big comedy coming to
Exactly. I mean, we had Steve Martin do, he did Bright Star, which was, whimsy.
He made us cry, now he's going to make us laugh.
Exactly.
Maybe cry too, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows what's up for that? So that's exciting. The Band's Visit is, of course, the new musical that everyone's talking about because it had a very acclaimed off-Broadway run.
Huge, won so many awards already.
Yeah. You were out at the...
I went to their commercial shoot.
Commercial shoot last week. Adam Cantor has joined another former Broadway.com vlogger because Ms. Laura Michelle Kelly is also a former Broadway.com vlogger. He has joined the cast. He was last in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yep.
And he is playing Telephone Guy.
Oh, that one.
That role. And Itai Benson, who was just in the American in Paris tour.
He was.
And he was a former Bach.
Bach
in Wicked. He's going to play Poppy, but I don't think you're supposed to say it with a Spanish accent because it's nothing Latin about
Israel,
the Band's Visit.
Egyptian.
And of course, Tony Shalhoub, Katrina Lang, John Cariani are all in it.
Yep.
This is starting previews October 7th, opening November 9th at the Barrymore Theater. We can't wait.
I can't wait for this. We have some updates about Heartthrobs that we're big fans of.
Broadway.com Heartthrobs, yes.
So Aaron Tveit, we all know, is going to be in Company. He's playing Bobby. Barrington Stage.
Bobby, that one.
That one. The Barrington Stage Company, they put out a video, a little preview of Aaron singing. He's got these beautiful little highlights in his hair right now.
This is why I gave you this segment, because I knew that you would
I paid a lot of attention to it. But it sounds amazing, and that's coming up. That starts the 10th, very soon, and playing through September 2nd at Barrington Stage Company.
And I think they've added some performances.
They've added even more performances.
Because I think it's blowing up the Berkshire.
I mean, of course it is, yes. Also, Brendan Urie, a heartthrob, who was just in Kinky Boots. He just finished
his run
the 6th.
over the weekend.
He just finished that. But we put out a cultural list saying, like, what else would you like him to do on Broadway? And that's about to come out.
And he will take these considerations very seriously.
Yes, we're going to forward them to his inbox.
He will audition for all 10 of these roles.
Be like, this is what we've decided. You guys have decided.
What are the top picks?
Top 3, Elder Price and Mormon, which makes sense, yeah. King George in Hamilton.
Why not?
And obviously Fiyero in Wicked.
I'm
Those
shocked.
hot, tight white pants.
Basically, everybody wants every cute guy to be Fiyero.
Essentially, yeah.
That's the role.
But all great picks. So hopefully those will come true.
I'm super excited for Torch Song.
Me too.
Okay, I knew you would be.
Yeah.
So this is, of course, Harvey Fierstein's original triumph from the early 80s. And it is being rebooted. It's called Torch Song Trilogy originally. Now it's just Torch Song.
Right.
It will be at Second Stage Theater, and we already knew Michael Urie will be playing the role that Harvey made famous originally. But now Jack DeFalco, who's currently in Marvin's Room
right now,
has joined the cast. And this actually is a role that Fisher Stevens opened originally on Broadway.
Oh, right.
John Cryer played it on Broadway. So it could be a nice little...
nice big moment.
It's a Star-to-Be kind of role.
Exactly.
Kind of like Star-to-Be and Annie.
Yeah.
Blatantly titled Star-to-Be role. And Michael Rosen, who was in Looking the movie.
Looking, yes.
You know him from Looking
he had
the movie?
a very important scene in Look at
Oh, he
You.
did?
Like
I mean, he
very
was naked?
scandalous. Yes.
Oh,
he and
with
Groff.
Jonathan Groff?
He and Groff had
Oh.
a very hot and heavy
I figured
moment.
something happened because when I Googled him, it immediately came up next to Jonathan Groff's name.
Yeah, they
I was
had
like,
a-
well, something happened with these two.
they had a hot and heavy moment.
He will be playing Alan, the role that Matthew Broderick
Right,
played in the
yes.
movie. He's like the lover of Michael Urie's character. And Ward Horton will be Ed, and Roxana Hope Raja will play Laurel. And of course, Moises Kaufman is
Mercedes
directing.
Rule in
And
there.
hello,
Yeah.
Mercedes Rule is
Right,
in it.
that
you
is why.
people. And
That's-
she's in one of my favorite movies of all time. Do you want to guess what that is?
Nope. No, I have no.
The Fisher King.
Really?
Have you ever seen The Fisher King?
I've never seen it. No.
Go home. You know what? This Live Club is canceled. We're sorry, Laura Michelle Kelly.
I have not done my research.
Ryan has to
I've
go
just
home and watch
watched
The
The
Fisher
Fisher King.
King.
I've heard a lot about it.
You
Is
should.
that Robin Williams and Robert
Yes.
De Niro? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. all
Mercedes
right.
Rule might have won the Oscar. She won the Oscar.
Oh.
I think.
My God. Well.
Anyway, she should have if she didn't. That starts. Preview starts September 26th at Second Stage
Second
Theater, and
Stage.
Ryan and I will be there.
Yes, for sure. And I'll have caught up on Mercedes Rules canon. The NYMF Awards for Excellence. So we just had the NYMF, and we had Dante Palminteri
Yeah,
came on
Chaz
and talked about.
Palminteri's son.
Yes, for Generation Me, it
Which
won
ended up being like the
a
big
ton
show of the
awards.
festival.
Yes, it won 8 awards,
What?
including Best Musical.
That makes it like the
It's like that big, like it's Sundance, the one like the
it's the
audience.
Hamilton
choice.
of the NYMF.
Yeah, it's the Hamilton of the NYMF. Yes.
Okay.
So Best Musical and an acting award for Milo Manheim.
I didn't know he was.
I had no
another
idea.
famous. It's,
Yeah.
The whole cast was kids of famous people.
Right. So Cameron Manheim, who was just in Spring Awakening, it's her son,
That's
and yeah,
amazing.
he won an acting award. So big deal. This Generation Me.
And some other Broadway people.
And also winners, Brian Charles Rooney for Miss Blanche
Yeah.
Tells All, and Nancy Anderson for The Fourth Messenger. All walked away with trophies at NYMF.
Nancy Anderson, who famously played Norma Desmond one day in Sunset Boulevard, because she was
That's
Glenn
right.
Close's standby, and she was in the show.
Yep.
And she had to go out at the last minute, and apparently it blew her
Nailed
away.
it, yeah.
I saw the video.
And The Sound of Music, which is currently on tour as well. They announced some new stars for the second year, and you've got Jill Christine Wiley as Maria Rayner, and Mike McLean as Captain Von Trapp. And they'll be at Seattle's Paramount Theater on September 6th.
Congratulations.
So all
Uh,
new Von Trapps.
Tracy Letts wrote a new play, and apparently
did.
it's coming to Broadway.
You mean Carrie
mean-
Coon's husband, Tracy Letts? That's how I.
Carrie Coon's husband
Tracy
wrote a new
Letts.
play.
Yep.
He was a playwright before he met her. And it's called The Minutes, and this will be happening at Steppenwolf. But they already said a while ago that it's coming to Broadway
Already
in
on
the
its
spring.
way, yeah.
And it has an amazing cast. William Peterson, who of course was in CSI,
Right.
which I never saw, but I know he's very
You
famous.
never
for that.
watched CSI.
I know he's
like the #1 show in the country for years.
I know. Anyway, he's in it, and I'm excited. As Sally Murphy, who's in my favorite production of Carousel ever. Kevin Anderson, who was in Sons of Boulevard with Patti LuPone. I'm just bringing up like random credits for people, like the credits that I really care about. They're all very acclaimed actors. James Vincent Meredith, Frances Guinan, Ian Barford. Anyway, Anna DiShapiro's directing, and of
She's
course,
phenomenal.
she's super talented, and it's happening in Steppenwolf starting November 9th. And it's about small town politics and maybe the Trump era America, maybe. Isn't everything
Right.
sort of about
yeah.
that
I mean,
now?
that's what everyone. You have
Except
to
for
write
King
about
and
the
I.
world you live in, right? And it comes to Broadway in February.
They said February.
Right. That's all
No
right.
actual date announced yet, but
Gotcha. We have baby news. Babies. Broadway stars having babies. Claiborne Elder and his husband Eric Rosen.
neither of them actually had the baby.
Neither of them had the baby.
Right.
But,
But
the
they're
baby,
fathers.
But
They're
they are
daddies.
now fathers to Claiborne Beau, Philip Rosen Elder, and he's named for 6 prior Claibornes
Yeah, it's
in
a
the
family
Elder
name.
family. Yes. And for Eric's paternal grandfather. They're ecstatic. They're grateful.
And of course, Claiborne was last in Sunday in the Park with
Sunday in the
George.
Park with
And I
George.
think he just did Sondheim on Sondheim.
Yes, he did.
And
And
he was
his
a-
husband, Eric, is the artistic director of Kansas City Rep.
Right.
So
Yeah.
big theater, wonderful guys. And the baby's 7 pounds and 20.5 inches.
I love knowing the line.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Like,
congratulations.
Congrats,
Congratulations,
guys.
There's adorable photos on Instagram.
Yes.
Well, they were
that's
like
what we-
posting because they were like all the like lead up to the birth. It was very
Yeah,
exciting.
and then
Anyway.
finally, now we have Beau. And
Anyway,
he's
there are clips on the site of a parallelogram, which is awesome, off
Mm.
Broadway at Second Stage. I really loved it. Really weird, wacky place. Celia Keenan Bolger's amazing in it.
Right.
Check that out.
it's
And
supposed to be like
also,
Black
I just
Mirror.
wanted to do a little shout out. I saw some summer theater this weekend.
Oh,
I saw All
we
Shook Up,
recommended some.
Jodi
Oh,
Pietro's
yeah.
Elvis musical.
How was
which
it?
of course Cheyenne Jackson and Jen Gambatese were in on Broadway.
Right.
And it was amazing. And so I just want to give a shout out to the cast at Woodstock Playhouse in Woodstock, New York, which is
Wow.
not where Woodstock the Music Festival happened, but it was supposed to happen there. So it's like this weird legacy, has nothing to do with the town. But Carly Valanci played Natalie and Patrick Mobley played Chad, and they are stars to be.
Wow. So go see All Shook Up.
I'm just
apparently.
throwing a little
Yeah.
bone out there.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Perfect.
guys. And
All
it's playing
right.
through August 20th.
Oh,
And that's
wonderful.
it.
That's
we
it
have
for
an
the
amazing
news.
star,
Yeah.
so let me get
So,
out of here because
when we get
she's
back,
much prettier.
we'll be back with Laura Michelle Kelly in just a little bit. So stick around.
Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it my way but nicely. You are precisely
my cup of tea.
And all that jazz. Come on, babe, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. It's just a noisy hall where there's a nightly brawl and all that jazz. That jazz.
And we are back with Olivier Award winner Laura Michelle Kelly, who is currently starring in the national tour of King and I. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
I've just done 3 weeks in
Yeah,
DC, and
you-
I come back to New York every weekend. I've got 2
You
more
miss
weeks
us.
to go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you have been, so we talked on almost about a year ago. You and I chatted when this was announced and you were getting ready to go, and you were nervous, you were scared. You got 2 tubs, 2 buckets, I believe you described at the time, to like put your stuff in. But now you've been on the road. You've hit, I think, close to like 20 cities already.
Yeah, I
How
don't even know, but I'm having the best time.
Are
the first
you?
3 months, I was really like, whoa, we did a month in San Francisco, 6
Mhm.
weeks in LA, and one of the vividest memories I have is being locked outside of my house in Providence. That was the
Yeah, you were
first
telling me
city.
that your first city, right?
And that was just
So what happened?
difficult.
You just
In the middle of the night, so very first time on tour, I show up in Providence in my Airbnb that I booked. Actually don't really know where I am or where the theatre is or the nearest police station, as it seems. And my dog was so unhappy in this brand new environment that at 1 a.m. he
Coover.
was determined to leave the house. He really wanted to go outside, so I was in my pajamas, half asleep. I go outside, the door locks behind me, slams shut. I'm in just my pajamas, no phone, no keys, and a dog with just his leash, barefoot.
and it's winter.
It's in the
yeah.
middle of winter, and that was the moment when I was like, why did I do this?
Way to kick off my touring life
I
that
was-
I'm now.
I was locked outside for 2 hours, and then this beautiful man, Noah, got off his shift at the Eagle at the Providence. Hi, Noah. If you hear about this. Noah
Our hero,
saved
Noah.
my life. He saved my life. I didn't get hypothermia.
Well,
so that was the beginning of the
that's how you
ride.
kicked it all off.
Then
yeah.
we opened in Providence, and
And this was
it
your
makes
first, I mean,
sense.
you had friends and colleagues telling you like what touring life was like, but this was your first just
Yeah.
immersion in touring like this,
I knew
right?
it was going to be uncomfortable because you don't have your same routine and your same thing.
Sure.
But I kind of wanted that challenge. But most of all, I did choose to do this job because I wanted so badly to work with Bartlett Shear,
Mhm.
and I made the right decision. He was
Right.
incredible to work with. And Jose Lana, obviously,
Who's
he's
wonderful.
a legend.
Mhm.
And he's killing it in DC, which is his hometown right now. And he's got 50, 60 people every night
Coming to
him.
see him, coming to support
But
him.
he always does. Like, so he always has so many people coming to see the show just for him, and I get to meet them after.
Right.
But we're having a great time. The cast is brilliant. Everyone's so resilient. It changes your character being on tour.
Yeah.
Not only do you get to see a brand new environment, which can be difficult,
Mhm.
but you get to see the beauty of each city.
Right. And you become just a family with these people, right? Like you genuinely, you were saying you love these people that you work with. Love them enough to you're going to stick around for a while and you're going to keep going, which
I
is
this day, I was like, you know what? Give me 6 months, I'll be okay. I think that's going to be fine. And I always fall in love with everybody. I did the same with Finding Neverland. I did the same with Mary Poppins. I just fell in love with everybody.
Yeah.
You don't want to really leave that daily, you know, those conversations like, what did you do today? What are you doing tomorrow? Like
Right.
the same things, and you get to really involve yourself in people's lives, and I love that. Not to mention watching these kids grow up,
Right, yeah.
which is kind of one of the reasons I stood at Finding
And-
Neverland so long too.
Mhm.
You see these little kids grow into humans, and I just love
Right.
being around them.
And there's something I think just so wonderful to when you're on a touring show, you get to meet fans of yours and people that love this all across the country.
had so
What
many
if
people come.
what is the difference between fans that you meet when you're on a tour and the fans that come to like the stage door when you're on Broadway? What have you
They're still as hardcore on Broadway.
Yeah.
From Broadway, I've had one girl has come to see 9 cities, which I thought was out of 20. I don't know how many.
It's about 20, yeah.
That I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, no,
but
that's dedicated.
We've had some people go, but they're using it as an excuse to tour the nation too.
Right,
so
no, as you,
why not?
yeah, no, totally. Has there been a city or that you've been to that just really took you by surprise, blew
Yeah.
you away, that you fell in love with?
I fell in
What's-
love in Seattle. I
Really?
fell in love with
Okay.
my life in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
official now. I
gosh.
said it on Broadway.com.
that's
His
that's
name
right.
is Sean.
And-
He's the best thing ever. And I met him in Seattle. I was day one. I got there, and we've FaceTimed 8 times a day since.
Wow.
The next, yeah.
So a Broadway touring love
I'm
story.
So in love with
That's
him. So Seattle is definitely my first favorite city
Mhm.
after
right.
you know, LA, New York, New Orleans. New Orleans
Mhm.
is my home.
I mean, New Orleans
And I
is.
shall be performing there
Yeah.
November the 12th, I believe, for a week. And I'm
Right.
so pumped that my family can see me in their own home city.
No, New Orleans is amazing.
Yeah, my
I
dad
love.
moved to, just in case anyone didn't know, my dad moved to New Orleans when he met my beautiful stepmom on a dating website 10, 11 years ago, and then moved to New Orleans, and then all of us migrated. So New Orleans is my home.
And where do you? What cities are you looking forward to the most coming to?
Orlando. I am obsessed.
Have you?
with
You've been to
Disney
Orlando,
World.
right? Okay, yeah.
This year, we seem to have gone through it quite often, and you know, we had a few layoff weeks here or there, and I've ended up in Disney World quite a lot this year.
You
get
like
so,
it?
guys? The reason to go on tour is
You get to go
so
to
much
Disney
more
World.
holidays. So yeah, I'm having a great time.
Fantastic.
We're going to be in Orlando. We do Greenville after these 2 weeks.
Yep.
Then we have a 2 weeks off. I'm going to London, see my family, and then
Wait,
Orlando, Memphis, Atlanta. I'm excited
Right.
about all these cities.
And it's you. The dress. Obviously, we have to ask about the dress. You've
cross-stitch
now.
in
Yeah.
a
So
dress.
so you've now. This dress weighs what? 45
45
pounds is what? And
I had
have
no
you?
idea
Are you
it was
just
gonna be
totally?
such a buff. I
ju-
am now buff.
from what you wearing
I
this dress?
I gained 10 pounds. I'm like, "What this? Why am I gaining so much weight? It's CrossFit. It's the dress giving me
Mhm.
all these muscles.
Yeah.
And literally, Jose is swinging me around like a pro, and that he makes it look so easy. But I've got probably 25 pounds in my left hand of material, and we're swinging around each other. We go in and out of all these pillars. It's been intense
Yeah.
physically, but I'm loving it.
And
I'm having
you-
a great time.
I know you're a big coffee snob, and you were. So was Seattle? Did Seattle live up to the hype of coffee?
I've
And
learned how to weigh and get my coffee delivered and make it on the go. I used to go out, you know, I would go all the way from Upper East Side all the way down to the Ace Hotel to get my Stumptown coffee, and now I have it with me everywhere I go. So,
You know what?
Gotta keep your home comforts on the road.
Exactly,
But I am living
exactly.
out of one carry-on now. I am
Really?
over luggage.
Because I was gonna, you were nervous about how much space you were originally given, like having the 2 buckets, but
Yeah,
now
I-
you've got it down to a
I
science
have
now
like
that you.
3 bags and 2 trunks. We're allowed trunks.
Okay.
On the road. But now I just don't care. I'll buy some cheap top there, and I leave things behind, or I donate them to people.
Mm-hmm.
We're
What do you
in
do? What are you?
Washington,
What are you
DC.
donating? What are you giving
Well,
away?
in
What is?
DC right now, I've got delivered. I've got a whale that we've stuffed. It's like
Okay.
the size of this table.
Wow.
And I buy things for the city, and like again, then I'm gonna know who I'm gonna give them to when I leave.
Gotcha.
So I bought like these trees.
Just see, Laura Michelle Kelly spreading gifts across the country.
And
That
I think we're going to do a vlog soon, right?
I'm-
Soon we're going to do a vlog. Everyone's been asking me, Laura,
Keep
do
an
another
eye
vlog
out.
like I did with Finding Neverland. So we're going to do one really soon, and they will see the adventure there.
yeah,
is
I can't
our
wait. It's
tour life.
fantastic.
I'm getting a forest inside inside my quick change booth.
You have some fans reaching out to you. David wants you to know that you were glorious in Neverland. Loved you in
Oh,
Neverland.
thank you.
And let's see what we
I want
have.
to apologize to fans because I told them I would do tea time in the teepee. I bought this teepee and I told people on Instagram I was going to do all your questions, and everybody wrote in all these questions. I had every intention of doing it, and then we just went to a new city and a new city, and I couldn't quite get away.
Well, you'll
but
have to
I am doing that soon.
be on the
everybody.
lookout.
I've promised again.
Billy would like to know, what is your dream role?
Oh,
It's a big
I would really like
question.
to do another
That's-
movie. It's so
Mm.
funny. Everyone in the cast cottoned on that I did this quirky comedy that in Australia called Goddess, and they've all bought it, and they all are watching it, and they keep giving me quotes from Goddess, the movie, because now it's on iTunes or something. So I would really like to do another movie. And,
Gotcha.
You know, I've always wanted to do Evita.
Really? Okay.
Always. Maybe we could do a concert version of Evita.
Yeah,
I would
absolutely.
love to do that.
I'd love to hear you
work.
sing those. Yeah.
And I've always loved watching that show too. It's really difficult.
You've done, well, speaking of, you've done all sorts of crazy, difficult things on stage. You flew as Mary Poppins. Someone would like to know, how did you like flying?
I love it. I'm such an adrenaline junkie.
Yeah?
And if I can't do a show, I probably would do something vaguely wild.
What-
You know, I'm obsessed
Are you like a
right now.
daredevil? Do you want to like jump out of planes
Just
and bungee
don't
jump
you
and all of
just
that
wanna live
crazy?
life to the
I
fullest?
want no interest in those things.
But I think for a while, like I was playing super safe, and I was actually a long time ago. I was a little bit depressed, and I think when you finally get out of that, on
Mhm.
the other side of it, suddenly you just want to live life to the very fullest. And I think that's part of why I love like pushing myself and like you just want to live it to the fullest. You're not satisfied anymore with
Right.
just sitting still.
Well, that's the whole reason you
That's-
wanted to take on being part of a tour, right? Try something new,
Yeah.
push yourself somewhere you hadn't been before.
And I was definitely uncomfortable
Mm.
outside.
Right,
stuck.
what's the first thing you realized? Did you like forget something, or did you like what was the first like having to adjust to be like, oh, this is my life now? Like
New
for
city, not knowing where the shop is, not and Pittsburgh.
just being lost.
Pittsburgh
and
had no technology. Sorry, Pittsburgh.
That's Pittsburgh.
They have the best doctors in the nation, however.
Right,
They have
just no
incredible
technology.
things, but no delivery service for your food. Like,
Really?
when
Like no
you're-
seamless or
It's hard
anything?
when you're
Like-
in the middle of a city this time and you don't always have a car and you where do I go for grocery shopping, and it's a little scary outside when
Mhm.
you arrive. Like San Francisco is scary. It was frightening. I'm sorry everyone who lives there, but I walked in and this homeless man took his dirty pants off, like jeans off,
Mhm.
soiled, threw them at me in the street when I was walking with my dog. Everywhere you go, there was homeless people with their dogs off leash. I was frightened. I mean,
you need like a
I
Secret
went in the
Service
wrong
crew
part,
too.
honestly. I was living in the. I accidentally went into the wrong part. It's not all like that,
Right.
obviously. I then
Yes,
discovered
Seattle's also
beautiful things.
beautiful city, Seattle
I did
and San
discover the
Francisco,
Japanese
and
garden. It was amazing. with
oh
Joe.
yeah.
I love Japanese gardens.
Carolyn would like you to know you've been such an inspiration to her.
Thank you.
Mary Poppins is a dream role. She thinks you're perfect in every way.
I'd like to play
That's-
that again.
Yeah?
I don't think I'm done. I would
Really?
really like when they bring it back for the revival, and I'm not too old. That would be. I would like to do
Give
that
Mary
again.
Poppins another spin. You've been touring obviously, but have you had a chance to see anything that you've loved recently? Anything
I've
that
seen
you?
so many things. Philadelphia has incredible museums.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed that. Eno State Park in Durham. Durham was one of my favorite cities. I was so
I've
surprised.
heard this a lot about
We were
Durham.
only
Yeah.
there a week, and I went to the most magical place, Seattle, Lake Dorothy. I don't know if anyone's been to Lake Dorothy. but
No.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen. It's like a 2-hour hike. Sean took me. It's a 2-hour hike, and then all of a sudden you're in this pristine lake surrounded by all these trees, and you could do another 2-hour walk and find yourself at another beautiful lake. Like we didn't get that far.
Right.
We camped out. It was so wonderful. I've seen so many beautiful things in America, and I'm really, really glad that I've ended up on this tour, because I would not have gone to some of these cities.
Right.
So who knows what's next?
Right.
I want to go panning for diamonds in. I think which city is that in?
Panning for diamonds.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll remember. I probably am. No, I won't tell you because then you'll pan for diamonds too. And
Believe me, I'm not going out
there's
panning
one
for any
ci- There's
diamonds.
one city that you can pan for diamonds.
That's fantastic. That's
That you
crazy.
can dig for
That's
them.
I didn't know you could still do that.
You
And
can
what?
do
So
that.
you're taking a little bit of a break.
I'm taking 4 weeks off. I'm not really taking a break though. I am staying on at the show. Yes.
Oh, and what are you gonna
And then for
do?
4 weeks, I'm actually gonna work on another new show.
Really?
Yeah.
What's this? Can you tell us anything about this
But
new
well,
show?
it's with this beautiful girl, Sammy Canold, who I did Ragtime with on Ellis Island
Mhm.
last year. I think it was
Right.
Last year. We were supposed to do it this year, but we're now manoeuvring it to next year. And now the space that we would have been doing it here, we're now doing a new show instead.
And
so-
what's the what's the new show
Yet
about?
to be determined.
Yet to be determined. Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's coming. We're,
all right.
We're excited. We don't know what it's going to be yet, but
Wow.
I know it's time to do another one.
Right. And you, what are you hoping that when you take King and I around, what are you hoping to do with fans out in these cities besides
Well,
doing this vlog?
I'm
but
happy
then,
about that though.
Yeah.
The vlog's really exciting. I'm happy to. Do you know what? I have to also send another apology. Social media has been incredibly hard since I've become traumatized. I'm very traumatized by Trump.
Oh.
So I avoid social media.
It's hard,
Way
yeah.
more. I think a lot of people out there are traumatized.
mm-hmm.
And we have to get back onto social media.
Right.
I'm telling myself right now.
Well, and that's
And
one
like
of
promote what's good in the world, but it's hard when you keep getting bombarded by a lot of pain. And the best thing you can do is, but it's been hard. But I've been working through
yeah.
this.
And it's one of the things that you said that playing the role of Anna has sort of like taught you, right? About how we all need to sort of support one
Well-
another and be there and learned how to
Well,
communicate
Jose-
with each other.
Jose is an incredible person to be like debating on stage with every night. He basically represents anybody, and I do to him, anybody who you don't really get at all, and you try and find a way to bridge the gap somehow. And really, I find the only thing that you can do in the face of, pending doom, the only thing you can do in the face of hatred in any way, or division, is to come at it in the opposite spirit.
Right.
That's the only way. And as soon as you do that, you take back that fear. You take back your life. And
Mm-hmm.
so I bet everybody's been going through this kind of process of like, how do you even navigate a season where everybody's feeling this state of unease? But
Right.
really, the only thing you can do is come at it with love.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a great.
it's a
Yeah.
cliche,
Absolutely.
But it's true. Like,
No.
you really
Totally.
can find connection somehow based on love, and that there's always agreement in that, even if they don't receive it.
Yeah, and this show has so many messages about that, and these.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rogers and Hammerstein, they knew at
It's
the time.
quite
Like
funny
they.
too, because you have like these wars with each other about, how can you see it that way? And like the audience finds it very humorous.
Yeah. What do you do when you're on the road to decompress and take your mind? What are you listening to?
Oh
What are you
my gosh.
watching? Are you
I
on
am
Netflix?
obsessed with wilderness programs. I have been since Finding Neverland. I'd go
Mhm.
home because I guess it's a way of getting outside without going outside.
That I'm into. Yes.
And
Yeah.
I've been watching Alone, this TV show called Alone.
I've not heard of this.
It's where a single person is in the middle of the wilderness, probably like Vancouver Island,
Okay.
and they have to survive in the worst possible weather, in the worst possible conditions, raining every day, and they have to build their own shelter, and they have to catch their own food. So if I watch these people, I know my life's not so bad.
You're
I'm
like,
in a new
"Oh,
city with my
I'm
friends not
fine."
here. But I absolutely am obsessed with this program, and I just discovered The Fringe. How could I? Fringe, sorry, not The Fringe. Fringe.
Fringe.
I watched 4 seasons in 3 weeks.
Really? Well, I mean, you have some
I didn't
time. You have some
sleep.
time
I
on the
didn't
road.
sleep. I was obsessed. I really love science fiction.
And how is the dog Hoover? How is he?
He's good
He's
now.
adjusting to.
Well, actually, this is one time this happened. Normally, and sometimes I don't get to talk to fans for very long at the stage door because I'm racing back to my digs to go take him for a walk and like spend time with him, and then get him settled, and then come back and do the second show. Well, this one Saturday, I normally get like a 20-minute nap in, and then I get up and then I go home and I take care of him. But I accidentally slept through, and he didn't get his walk in, and I was upset that happened. But I got home and he pooped in my one carry-on bag, and he pooped all over my clothes.
You can't upset the puppies like that. No, they.
His fault.
It's,
That was the only time he's ever done that, and he must have been very unhappy with me. I think it was thundering too that night, so
scared, like he is. Yeah. Well.
he pooped in my carry-on.
Well, I know I speak for many people that we appreciate that you decided to try out the touring life with the show,
Oh, I love
especially.
it.
We're thrilled that you're sticking with it. We can't wait
Do you know
to
who
do.
laughs the most? Charlotte.
Really?
Charlotte people know how to party. They showed up ready to laugh their loudest ever.
Gotcha.
That is so
All
astounding
right.
to me.
I've been to Charlotte. It's a fun city.
I was
It's
so
yeah.
astounded.
It's great.
It's
Well,
like, they really love their life there.
they do. You know, it's warm. It's pretty. It's great.
But it's so funny because Seattle people, they were listening. They were like English audiences.
Well, yeah. I mean, you fell in love in
listening,
Seattle.
going
You can
around.
only get so much out of one city. You know, like that's
I
not.
wasn't criticizing the audience, by the way.
But,
yeah,
um,
it is fascinating the personalities of each.
Yeah,
audience.
no,
It's so
that's-
different, city to city.
Right, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Well, I'm sure they all love you, and we love you. And please keep coming back and doing more with us. Thanks for joining us. And make sure you check out Laura Michelle Kelly in The King and I, and keep your eyes peeled on Broadway.com for more stuff with this fun woman. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.